Anyway, I want to do a little mini lesson today. A little reminder, I've touched on this one in the past, but this is when the shit has hit the fan, or at least you think the shit has hit the fan, you want to remember this. You only ever have control over three things: your perceptions, your actions, and your decisions. This is all you ever control. You never control anything else. With these three things alone, you will either create mastery, create a really nice life, or you will create a fuckery. It's just those three things. The culmination of how you manage those three things determines everything. So in this little mini lesson, I'm going to give you a couple of pointers. I'm going to go through each three and just a couple of pointers on them to give you a higher probability of mastering them. We'll start with perceptions, for example. The North Star when it comes to perceptions is balance. Your emotions are created by lopsided perceptions. The things that make you emotional might not make the next person emotional, because it's not the thing that is the cause of the emotion, it's your perception of the thing. So if you have a lopsided perception, you can become emotional. And when you're emotional, you cannot be logical, because logic comes from the word logos, which means the ability to argue for both sides. It means you can take it or leave it. It means you're impartial to whatever happens. You see the benefits and the drawbacks and the drawbacks and the benefits, and you're not emotionally attached to either outcome. So when you're feeling shitty, when you're feeling emotional, run down, or stressed, or something's happening, it's because you have a lopsided perception. The North Star is balance. So when you're feeling shitty, you feel like you're in a fucked up situation, you're emotional about it, you want to ask, what am I not seeing here? What's the other side? It's very easy to shut down, run your story, become a victim, blame something on the outside, blame someone for your emotion and your lopsided perception. But you will not master your life if you stay there. Whenever you're feeling shitty, whenever you're emotional, you want to ask what, and it could be elation too. It could be euphoria or depression or despair. Either you're up or you're down. You want to ask, what am I not seeing here? What is the other side? You want to calm your perceptions. So here we go. Balance. Balance is the North Star when you're referring to your perceptions. Every time you're emotional, make sure you get into balance, and you'll neutralize the emotions pretty quick. Actions. I want to share here what I believe to be the North Star of your actions is meaningful actions. Every action you take should be meaningful. And what I mean by that is meaningful in relation to your ultimate end game, your purpose, your mission. What's your mission? If you're doing something just because someone says, it's not a meaningful action. So many people here ask me every day, Lewis, I've got this situation, what should I do? And I say nearly the same thing every time. What's your goal? What's the outcome? What are you trying to achieve? If you don't tell me that, then how can I tell you what action to take? Doing an action because someone tells you to do it is not meaningful action. You need to know where you're going. So here we go. This is your now, this is your later. That's your end game, this is your now game. If you ask, here's where I am, that's where I'm going, what should I do? Well, then you can strategize and brainstorm. You say you could do this, or this, or this, or this. You can run probability models. You have some ballpark. But what so many people do is they're emotional, they're having a bad time. They really haven't got past the first part, balancing their perceptions. And they say here, Lewis, what do I do? I've got a situation, what do I do? I don't know where you are, I don't know where you're going. It's an impossible question to answer, and someone's going to tell you, and you're going to do it and just work. Oh, that fucker said to do that. My mom, my dad, my teacher, my preacher, the guy on Instagram said do that. I'm going to go and do that. But they don't know where they are. They don't know where they're going. So they're just going to go round and round and round and round and round until the end of time, realizing that they're just taking action because they think that they have to take action. They got no plan. And finally, decisions. My North Star for my decision making is calculation. The decisions that you make have to be bloody calculated. So many people respond with this. Calculated decisions, Lewis, that's really nice to hear, but I'm more spiritual and I go with my instinct. I go with the flow and I say, okay, well, what's your track record? What are your results like? What are your decisions led you to? Have you got any results? No. Well, then you've got a stupid fucking strategy. Some people legitimately have a strong intuition. They have really worked on their gut instinct and they can go with the flow. But when I ask them, you got results? Yes. And by saying, yes, I've got results from going with my gut, that is a calculation that they've already done. That's calculated. One of the best things that you could do in making calculated decisions is understand the math behind expected value calculations. You need to, on every decision, particularly for you fuckers with the money and the finance questions, it's numbers and math. You should know your expected value calculation on every decision. If you don't know how to do the expected value calculation, lesson 6 at Infinite Prosperity, go and read that lesson. That whole entire lesson is the maths and the probability of success. If you do what that lesson says, you will have maths on your side. You'll have a probable edge. So these are my 3 areas of power and control. You've got to remember that you only ever control these 3 things. And I'm certain that If you learn to balance your perceptions, take meaningful actions based on calculated decisions, you will empower your life.